What does your watch say about you as a person? Did you guys know that every day your watch is saying something about you to the world? That's right. Some people really care about this a lot. As you will see in this tabletop review, I don't. Hey guys, Nutnfancy, my first, perhaps only, watch review. I'm going to be talking about the Timex Marathon. But I want to start off with this model right here. If you're wearing this around town, in a tactical shoot, out with friends, on a river rafting trip, on a vacation, what does this watch say about you? I would say most people would think it's kind of dorky. That it says you're cheap, maybe practical. Heck, I've worn this watch for years. I love this watch. It is a very inexpensive Casio. Cost me all of, I think, 18, 19 bucks at Walmart. It's Casio module. That's how they keep track of theirs. What does it say? W-98H. Very practical watch. Very inexpensive watch. It's lightweight, waterproof to 50 meters. Basic functions. I'm not going to review this one. You saw the functions right there. It's a good watch. Inexpensive, very unobtrusive when you're wearing tactical gloves, so you're slipping them on and off. And I really like it for winter operations when I'm wearing snow gloves. This is a watch I wear a lot. Good watch, good watch. And yet, most people would say, dork. If you're wearing, if not that, they're going to say, dude, I mean, come on, man. I've had guys laugh at the watches I wear. You guys saw back in 2008 when I was wearing the Casio Databank watch. Talk about a nerd watch. Very functional. It's before I had a smartphone. Smartphones have all the functions that watch has, so kind of its functionality was kind of superseded by a smartphone, iPhone, whatever one you have. But also it wasn't water resistant and it wasn't tough. I kept breaking them. Every watch on this table right now is tough. But before I get into the specific model, this one, there's some other ones I may make mention of. I want to show you this very fascinating phenomenon, which I am introing with, and that is the watch phenomenon. And I have lots of friends that love advertisements, and I've been picking these advertisements out of print publications for a while, but they love this. They eat it up. I have a friend, he was a pilot buddy of mine. He was a watch guy, and he had some impressive watches. And I got to tell you that it is fascinating to me. I see a watch like this Hamilton. If a dude's wearing it and it's a genuine one, I look at the mechanical makeup of it, how it looks. It impresses me. I like it because obviously I'm a gear guy. I'm a pilot too. So this ad is attractive, not just graphically. I think it's very graphically attractive, but it presents a very interesting man image that we like. But beyond that, a watch is an intrinsic mechanical device, especially when you get a mechanical one like this, not a digital one. And I think a lot of guys are turned on by that and they like it. And I completely understand that, and I'm very sympathetic with it. I fully place that in the second kind of cool category. And subscribers to the Nutnfancy Project, been watching me forever, know exactly what that means. If you don't, go watch the video, Two Kinds of Cool. Second kind of cool is you just like it. It just turns you on. There's a huge amount of marketing that goes on in the watch world to convince guys that they need to have a cool watch. In order to be cool, they need to have a cool watch. I had some really cool tactical watch ads that I've been peeling away for you guys. I lost some of them, but I don't know. Is this cool still? John Travolta with a P-51. Poor John, man. I don't know if Breitling's still using him as their spokesperson. I don't think so. I went to their website tonight and they got another dude there, so I think John's gone. The controversy of what's going on in his personal life, I think he's done. But at the time, I think I ripped this ad out. It's probably from early summer 2012. Look at the image. You got a P-51 in the background, a really cool watch, the Breitling gold wings, chronograph, pilot suit. There you go. That's an image. And a lot of guys like that. And incidentally, I think this one came out of a pilot magazine. I think this one came out of a car magazine. And you will see all of those watch advertisements, like all advertisers, go very specific to their audience. Here's 2 Luminox watches. And by the way, I really like this one. Look at how sick that one is. Just totally blacked out. I think Luminox really goes heavy in the tactical world, and it's very effective in its marketing to the tactical world. You can hear, who's this one marketed at? Handcuffs right here. There's a tear gas grenade here, maybe a smoke. You got goggles. Looks like an M9 up here. Tactical, right? What's that, night vision? No, that's a rebreather. There's a SOG knife, looks like a SOG 2000. Tactical watches. And you could see all types of fascinating tactical advertisements for watches. And I'm not going to say these watches suck. They don't. They are amazing. The reason I personally, well, there's lots of them, but I don't score a watch like this is because I want to spend my money elsewhere. Ammunition, guns, and something's got to give. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't get everything in life, so I wear this. And I don't care what it says to the world. I really don't. I'm about practicality, function, durability, and value. Bam. Just like all my other reviews. That's the stuff that turns me on. When a piece of gear gets all of that right, to me that establishes its own kind of cool with me. And that's what, as we will see, the Timex Triathlon is. Is it as cool as the Luminox? No. Probably cooler than this one, though. They got some wannabe watches that are striving for that second kind of cool, that specialness. This one's called, heck, I don't even know. Daniel Steiger, some off-brand. Maybe a Swiss movement, maybe not. Much cheaper, but it goes on and on. Here's another Breitling ad. I really like this one by the Victorinox. Look at this. Now, this is not a tactical. Who are they appealing to in this advertisement? Travelers. People who get out and travel. World travelers. And I forget what magazine this one came out of. I like that ad, though. It's a beautiful ad. It's graphically, it's just perfect. And they're selling this. They're selling this to be an adventure watch. If you're an adventurer, this is a watch you want to hook up with. And they've got, no doubt, some French diving enthusiast, whatever that dude's name is, vouching for it. Cool watch. This is out of the LL Bean catalog. This is a couple more Luminox brands. You can see they're not cheap. $400 for these ones. They have tritium lamps in them. I love that orange face on it. These look like they're put together specifically for LL Bean. Awesome. Another wannabe watch. And we could go on all night in this fascinating visit to the watch world. The men's watch world. So we go back to my watches. Practical, functional, affordable, durable. That's what this one is. Some of you guys might really care what the world thinks of your watch. As you've been seeing, I don't. I just don't. I just don't give a crap. The world likes how I'm dressed. Awesome. If they don't care. I just wear what's comfortable and functional. This watch, right off the bat, is extremely affordable. Here's a new one. $35. So there's a blue one. It comes in gray. This is an olive drab. Timex Triathlon. I should say Ironman. That's the broad category. And they'll have variations of this model. Here's an orange one, obviously. I've been wearing this one for years. Notice it's the same module. Exactly the same. The case is just different. So for you guys that like the bigger watches, right here, bro. And I actually liked it too. I was surprised. I strapped this one on. I was like, wow, that's kind of a fat old watch. But I liked it. It was just kind of cool. It's the same exact functionality like it. $35? I mean, how many of these can I buy for one of these Breitlings? But Nutnfancy, you can't make the same comparison. Those are so much cooler watches. I get it. I know they are. But let's look at the functionality between any of the watches I've shown you and this Ironman. Which is more functional? Well, they're about the same, Nutnfancy. Not even close. The digital watches will blow away all the analog. I shouldn't say, but most of the analog watches. I'm not specifically familiar with this brand. There's a name on there. Navitimer. You Breitling guys are probably like, hey, I love that watch. It's cool, I get it. But dude, seriously? What does that watch cost? Like $5,000 or something insane, maybe more? Let's cover the features of this one. And by the way, in the background is another awesome watch. This is a Casio G-Shock, and it's a wave scepter, so it sets itself with the atomic clock. I'm gonna tell you this though, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a scuba diver too. Didn't know that, did you? Yep, I scuba dive, and I've gone with this watch, and it survived. I mean, these Ironman watches are waterproof to 100 meters, but they specifically say in the manual, don't go diving with it, and that's because you have, dynamic pressure, and so you can't actuate the buttons of these watches underwater. They say not to. You need a dive watch. This one is waterproof to 200 meters, and I haven't been super deep with it, maybe 40 feet. I was actuating the buttons, it did fine. This is a great dive watch, and that's kind of what I use it for. For daily wear, for me, it's just too chunky. It's a lot heavier than these, believe it or not. You can't tell on camera, but this has a lot more metal in it. That's a stainless steel bezel to get that 200 meter waterproofness, I suspect. So I think the point I'm getting to is if you want a dive watch, buy a dive rated watch, probably 200 meters or more. Most guys won't need that. This will be buku waterproofness. Just keep that in mind. And then we have our little humble Casio in the background. So they're going to hang out here while we go over the features real quick. And I'll probably just screw it all up, dudes, because I don't use all the features on this watch. First and foremost, it has what you would expect on a digital watch, and that is a 12 or 24 hour format. The way you're going to get into that is you'll press the set button here, and you can just cycle through your time. I'm going to show you the multiple time zones. That's extremely helpful. Seconds, date, there's your year, there's your time, so you'd set it here. I really wish, like on some Casio models, I could access 12/24 hour mode externally without going into the setting feature. So that's how you'll set it. It's not automatically kept with the atomic clock in Denver. Not so much. Here's a really cool feature though. You saw the different time zones. Right now I think I'm in number 2, but if I want to go to time zone 1, T1 will flash, or I can go to T3. Press and hold it, it'll beep, and it says now you're in time zone 3. So if you're traveling multiple time zones, the Ironman is just excellent. A lot of watches do that. I'm not saying it's the only one, but I like how easy it is, and it's real easy to tell, just flash, and you can swap time zones all the time. You have a chronograph feature. That is a timer. Pretty simple. Resetting it's kind of a pain because if you go in the manual, it talks about the lap function right here. I never use those. You guys might. I guess if you're timing a sporting event or something, lap function would be really important. But it's just basically a timer. And you can go out of it, cycle to other modes. The chrono will keep running. Then you pause it, and I think you reset it like this. Hold to reset. Bam, done. That's all I use that one for. And next it'll go, by the way, notice how it jumped back after I actuated it to time. So now we got to cycle through chrono, and then we get into a timer. Okay, and you can set your timer for whatever you want. This is a very helpful feature, like if you're cooking something, something's drying, your wife wants you to do something at a certain time. We'll show you another way to remember that. Set your timer. Excellent. Goes back to time, then we got to cycle back, and this was really helpful. This is your occasion. Now, once again, most of us are running smartphones, but if you're backpacking and you didn't bring your smartphone, or on a trip or out of cell phone range and you need to remember something, this is a great way to do it. You'll press set, go into here, and then there's your occasion. And so you can cycle to a whole bunch of different occasions. Your anniversary, I've forgotten that more than once. Thank you very much. Appointment, B-day, bill month, bill year, doctor, game, gift. What's that say? Holy. Holiday, that's what it is. Year, multi, and other. Cool, huh? So, and then you can go in and, I didn't show you, I guess I'll press it. You can change your hour and date on that as well. Okay, so that's your occasion feature. And once you have that set, I don't think I have it on, you'll have like a little reminder graphic come on in your screen with Ironman. Very cool. Occasion, and this is what I really love. It has 3 different alarms. So there's alarm 1, alarm 2, and 3, and each one will have a different sound. And I forget how to actuate the sound. I'm not going to show you. I forget. I use alarm 2 all the time. Sometimes I'll have it. So like if you're one to sleep through your alarms, you can set alarm 1 as a backup 5 minutes later, set alarm 2, bam. You got a great backup system there. Okay, goes back to time since we accessed some buttons while we're in that mode. And I think that's it. That's your functionality. And so we'll go back to this. Does that have all that? Let's get rid of Sean Travolta for now. How about that Hamilton? That's a cool color on that plane, by the way. They got a watch on their left wing. That's just really good marketing. I doubt it. This watch would not come close to this watch in functionality. Now, some of these will have like, you know, a fuel computer, and that's what this one is for pilots. You know what I'm talking about? So you can actually do functions on the exterior watch. So in that way, I guess it'll blow this one out of the water. But how many of you guys use that? I know a lot of pilots, and I will tell you exactly none that I know use that function. It's more for looks. They're like, hey man, I could use it if I wanted to. That's what most guys are saying. How about the band? It is excellent on the Ironman. It's tough, has a stainless steel clasp, and it doesn't come undone. This watch has about 2 years of hard use under it in Nutnfancy Adventures. And you can see it's still holding together. I haven't researched whether you can buy a new band for it. You might be able to. I would recommend always getting a genuine Timex band, not an aftermarket, because the aftermarket resin bands, in my experience, are just awful. Talking about Casio, they don't fit right and they don't wear good. And you can see these are specifically sized and mated to the casing. You may have some difficulty getting it. You might just have to get a new watch. Bummer, dude. You can see the lettering is going to rub off after a while. This watch actually has been a lot of shoots. I think I've taken it backpacking on some of the adventures. I forget which one I wore in Over the Ledge adventure. I've had no failures of any kind for water ingress into any of these Timex Ironman triathlon models. None at all. Shock resistant, tough as nails. They just keep on going. Take your pick on color and size of case. I like that one. You want a tactical looking watch, low profile? Excellent. I didn't show you this either. The Indiglow feature blows away the Casios. I don't know if that's capturing it. There you go. Excellent. Isn't that cool? Love that. I just actuated some other function. I don't even know what it is. It's like a moon. Maybe that's an auto light that it comes on in darkness. See that moon right here? So it detects it. Or when it goes down, I turn that off. Man, you know, I think I had that on when I first got the watch. I could be telling you guys wrong, because it just kept actuating the light, and that's a great way to run your battery out. Speaking of which, I have not had to replace the battery yet. And like the Casios, as soon as you break into the watch, you're probably going to have a hard time sealing it up again. I've done it with a lot of Casios like this. No. There's an old school G-Shock. That's a great watch, the G-Shocks. And this is the older style that is more flatter, not the big burly case that most of the G-Shocks use now. I like that. It has almost the same functionality as the Ironman. Not quite, though. Highly recommended. The only thing you're going to miss out on, dudes, cool points. I don't know if you're going to get any cool points wearing the watch. And I intro by saying that I'm not that way. So if I see someone wearing an Ironman, you know what I think? I was like, that's a guy that knows value. That's what I say. I'm like, that is someone that knows value. That's not to say if I see a buddy wearing a Luminox that I just blow it off and think the guy's an idiot. No, I still like the watch. I have an appreciation for it. It's just not for me, and it's not for my money spent. It just isn't. And I remember my mom-in-law gave me a really nice watch. You know how many times I wore that watch? It wasn't a tactical watch like the Luminox or the others I've shown you. 0. Goose egg. That's how many times I wore it. My wife kept saying, hey, why do you wear that watch? I was like, I need more functions than that, you know? I'm transiting time zones. I need to be reminded of stuff. Yeah, I want more to my watch. Highly recommended. Probably some of the best money you will spend. That's on the Timex Ironman Triathlon. That is the Nutnfancy review. Hope you liked it. See